Alrighty, I think we should move on to the game of the weekend, which is the one that's got the most talked about, I think, across everywhere this weekend, which was the Arsenal and Manchester United game. A bit of a banger, to be honest with you. And I had this one on, and when Lisandro Martinez scored an own goal, I thought, oh, this is gonna be Arsenal's day. Then Mbeumo scored in, I think, the 37th, and then Patrick Dorgan with an absolute screamer, right? His was a fantastic goal. And then Mikel Merino, who I think is quietly turned into a great forward for Arsenal, tied it up in the 84th. And then Mateus Cunha comes on and steals a show for United under Michael Carrick. And it's suddenly 3-2 Man United. And suddenly it's game on for the title. It's game on for pretty much, everyone going on about Arsenal's collapse, shall we say, because it's the question mark that get asked every time Arsenal starts to have a wobble. Everyone piles on them, and I think this is where the start of it's going to break Arsenal things come from. So it was a great game. Honestly, it was a great game, and I watched Michael Carrick's first game because, again, like most people, I was interested to see how he was going to be, and yeah, you know what? In all honesty, under Carrick, they look like they're playing free-flowing football with a bit of belief, and he looks. They reminded me on the weekend of what Sir Alex Ferguson used to play like. And I think that is the biggest compliment I can give them, because that's what they look like. They look like they believe. They look like they can attack. They look like they can score. And they look like they have players in Cunha and Mbeumo that if you go and get them a few more pieces, could really be a decent team.
Yeah. No, they were. I mean, they outplayed Arsenal hands down. Like, you have to give it to them. And, when you look at the back-to-back results for Man United, like, again, don't care.
City and Arsenal in back-to-back games. That's pretty big as it gets, right? At the moment.
Like, exactly. Like, you have to say, all right, you know what? They are a Champions League team contending team. They're in that conversation, right?
That guy that's growing his hair might get his hair cut this year. That's how good they're
at this. At this stage, that they definitely have the bump in their play and their performance. Can they, continue that run going into the weekend? Home game against Fulham, quite conceivable on Sunday that they do continue and get 3 in a row. But I think we have to again look at Arsenal. I can't remember when this was. They were up at least 9-point lead in the standings, and City were playing horrible football. I think this was just kind of, Villa was there, but we were kind of like, everyone was like waiting to see, all right, Villa's going to drop off. Villa's going to drop off. And now you look at where everything is right now. They have what now, 4-point lead on both.
Yeah, it is. It is 4 points, but if you look, because what they've essentially the last 6 they've won, drawn, lost. And then if you look at City, their last 6 is win, draw, loss, win, and then Villa's obviously won. But I was listening to Gabby Abonwell talk about everyone should be back in Villa for the title. I think Gabby's drinking the Kool-Aid way too soon, because at the end of the day, Villa's injury list is starting to look pretty substantial, and I don't think they've got the horses to get anywhere near a title charge. And I think he's a little bit being a homer on Villa being in the title race. It's a 2-horse title race. It's going to be City and Arsenal. I think everybody else is going to pull away. VAR maybe I'll continue to help support Chelsea with their quest to get the most points via assistance in Premier League history. But I think at the end of the day, it's a 2-point horse race with it's a 2-team horse race with Arsenal and Chelsea. Arsenal and City. But I think if you look at Arsenal's fixtures this week and look at who they've got, right, it's a really good week for them because I think they've got, I think it's Karat in the Champions League. They got Leeds, and then they got
Oh no,
Chelsea, Sunderland.
Liverpool play Carabag, or whoever they are.
It's Karat. Is it
Not sure.
Karat?
Oh, they play Karat, maybe.
Karat.
There's
Yeah, it's
Carabag.
Karat. Karabag
Yeah,
is
we
the
play.
other team. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we
Karat. I think that's how you pronounce that.
probably won't.
Brutally
There's
honest.
teams with some. But you know what? Remember, did anybody have Bodo Glimt beating Man City 3-0 in the Champions League? No, right? So it all depends on where the game is. If it's on the road, yeah, Arsenal should be the favorite. But I mean, it doesn't matter really the
I
result that
think
Arsenal.
no. I think they'll get. I think in Arsenal will get. I don't think it's doom and gloom just yet for Arsenal fans. I know enough of them that text
No.
me and thingy, but I think it's at the end of the day, you do want a little bit. You don't want Arsenal to fall off a cliff because at the end of the day, we do want some sort of entertainment and title race. We do want it to go to the last day. You do want to make sure that it's interesting for the rest of us to watch because at the end of the day, this year, again, a bit like last year, it's like I have no idea who's going to do what any week, given because at the end of the day, you could go from, right now that I don't think it's been this tight in a very long time, right? Because I think what Chelsea's on 37 and fifth, and they're only, you can get they're only what 7 points clear of Bournemouth in 13th, right? So I think at the end of the day, from a neutral standpoint, for people that like watch the show and people that just good old fashioned panicking chaos, it's a great title race because at the end of the day,
Oh,
you could just get on a run and win 6 games in a row and suddenly be in the Champions League. And you look at United's up to fourth, and it's
yeah.
like suddenly it's not doom and gloom. They've won 3, drawn 3 in the last 6, and it's not doom and gloom. Now you're in the Champions League spot. So I think in terms of Arsenal will be fine. I think they'll get a make right week. I think at the end of the day, United just seems to be the hot hand right now, and they've steamrolled 2 of the teams. And you know what? It's pretty entertaining to see the comments. Oh, sorry about that. StreamYard decided to keep it down.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, yeah. Welcome back.
where did I go? Oh, sorry. Oh, I gotta love that. Gotta love. For everyone watching, I was just complaining about our streaming service earlier, Sean. So it's just definitely. I think maybe they heard me, so they just kicked me out. But I'm back.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying. I think it's good for. I think it's good for the league if United's, not a train wreck because I'll be honest. More than anything, we watch a lot of content, we watch a lot of stuff, but it's when it's always about United doom and gloom, it kind of gets a little bit boring, a little bit uninteresting. You know what? Maybe United 5 wins together and get into the title race. Who knows?
I'm not going to be on everything's all better in the United camp because I think we've also seen this before, where interim comes in and they get that you know for some
They get the
reason.
bounce. They do get the bounce, but I need them, Sean. I need them to get the bounce for 2 more games at least because it's Spurs and West Ham. That would really cheer me up if they could get 6 points off those 2 teams. Because if Forest could pick up a couple of wins, then suddenly both those teams are in a lot closer to relegation than Forest. So I will. I'll be rooting for United to beat Spurs, then to beat West Ham. That would be great.
Well, here's the problem. From my perspective, I kind of don't want them to get any more win. I want them to drop a game soon. So you know, it's my selfishness is
They
as
could
long.
they could drop it against Everton. That'd be great. Week
Oh,
5.
no,
That that
that's what I
random two.
want to draw. That's what I want to draw. So I want them lose to Fulham, beat Spurs. We can both go with the beat Spurs, but drop points to Fulham and then draw Everton.
No, it's got there's
That would
West
be
Ham in between it. I need them to lose. They've got Fulham, then they've got Spurs, then they've got West Ham. I need them to beat Spurs. I need them to beat West Ham. Like that would be great. Being selfish.
as long as they lose to Fulham and we somehow go on a win streak, I'm good. Yeah, as usual, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and Don't forget to hit the like button and give some feedback. We love the communication, and like I said, you can say hi to Noah when you bump into him on the airport or at a game or at some kind of away trip. Hopefully,
Yeah, I do
we'll
appreciate it. It
continue.
was very nice. It was very nice to get to talk to people, and that's a big thank you for the guys that do watch us and support us, and it is very much appreciated.
Well, I mean, you and I have somewhat experiences locally with regard to Toronto FC and some of the other stuff we've done with, whether it be the Twitter Spaces show or the podcast. So it's always cool when somebody who you've never, if you walk down the street, you wouldn't know who they were, but they can recognize you simply for what we do here. So, thank you. We appreciate all of you. And that's it for me this week. Noel, anything else?
No, thanks. Thanks. It's good to be back.
All right, folks. That's it then. Catch you guys next week.